Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back.
Can't even believe it, y'all. We made it to Friday. Your first full week. How you feeling?
Feel great, man.
Feel great?
Yeah.
Feel like part of the family, or?
I do, man. I know I'm doing something right. We got the, haters in the.
Oh, got haters.
Oh, right.
That's how you know. That's how you know.
5 down.
At least he watching.
5 down. 155
Hey, we know he watching.
more to go.
That's exactly right.
Yikes.
Hey,
Dear
man.
Lord. Luckily, though, we're in the middle of game time. Three days in. How do we have 2 double OT games already? And how are the Oklahoma City Thunder involved in both? I don't know, but here we go. SGA. Enough said. 55 points. Leads his team, a career high in Indy. First time in history that a team's played those 2 double overtime games to start the season. I figured as much. Aaron Wiggins, 23 points, 9 rebounds, 2 huge threes in that second OT. Benedict Mathurin had 36 points and 11 rebounds. But let's just get to it. I'm gonna always start with Lou when we talk about SGA. That is the rule here. His 5th career 50-point game. Talk to me about SGA.
Well, I think this team is getting challenged early. They're the defending champions, and everybody is trying to beat them, but they're persevering, and both of those games are coming off SGA making big play after big play. You saw it in night 1, you saw it last night, both double OT victories, and he has to make a play. Like, he has to make those plays for this team to be successful. I don't think a statement was made last night. I think this is business as usual for OKC. They need him to have these big scoring outputs for them to be successful, and he's the guy to go out and do it. As you can see right here, he's using his body. 26 free throw attempts last night and no foul baiting. Like, this is just, I'm gonna have my way, I'm gonna get to my spots, and either I'm gonna score this basketball or I'm gonna force you to foul me and put me on the free throw line, and I'm gonna make play after play for my team to be successful. I think that's what he's been going out and doing. And, he might be looking around the league, seeing some other guys, Wemby, doing his thing, and like, hey, let me go out here and make sure that I lead my team to a victory. So I think that's the statement that's being made right here. Just go out and compete at the highest level and give us an opportunity to win games by any means necessary.
I don't know why anybody would be surprised either, right? Like, this is the same guy, the same offense, basically the same exact team. They didn't make any drastic moves. So like Golden State, they have that chemistry, they have that continuity of a team that's been together now, that's succeeded, they got to the highest, mountaintop of winning a championship, and then they bring back the same consistent lineup. So he's comfortable, he's used to this. Like Lou said, no foul baiting. I wouldn't say he hunted fouls, but that's just now become part of his game, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not even like he's doing anything extra. Like, that's just, he's mastered that skill of getting to the free throw line. And 23 or 26 from the free throw line, it's got to drive the other team crazy. 70 foul calls also has got to drive everyone else crazy because that is a lot. But this is just, I agree with Lou. This is business as usual. We're just going to get numb to these type of performances by him just because he is so good, he's so consistent, and he just continues to do things like this every single night and will his team to win. First 2 games, double overtimes, it's nuts. And you know what? They're 2-0.
No, they are 2-0. So are the Warriors, weirdly enough. Another MVP to his, I think we all kind of agree at some point, whether it's this season or a different season, he'll get another one. What does that do for a legacy? Yeah.
Man, I believe he's on a mission to get another one now. I looked at last night's game as a statement, and the statement was, I'm the main event in this league. And with that being said, obviously, Wemby has had a huge night. Anthony Edwards had a huge night. Multiple guys throughout the league have, started the season off with pretty big nights, but to come with your first 2 games back-to-back, double overtime games, you win both of them. What is he averaging right now? About 50 a game? Like, this kid is unbelievable.
It's about 40.
Yeah, this kid is unbelievable, I think. And the scary part about this entire OKC team is they're young and they're going to continue to get better. On top of already being champions.
And they don't even have Jalen Williams right now.
And they don't have Jalen Williams. Even the young kid, Aaron Wiggins, stepping up in the absence of Jalen Williams. They have so much young talent.
They're at that point, they're plugging and playing guys.
Absolutely. And I spoke on it previously before, and I kind of got backlash for it, but I think this team can start a dynasty. I don't think as far as, Golden State.
Wait, who gave you backlash?
I got some backlash.
I think it's already happening.
They probably will pay some fans.
Maybe so, but I definitely got backlash, but I'm sticking to that. I do think, this team has a chance to, start a small dynasty run, and obviously the head of the snake is Shai.
Yeah, I think the dynasty started. I think this is, I've said this before, in all sports, not just the NBA, I think this team is set up to succeed more than anybody. With this core, with this talent, now they go this summer and they lock in all those guys, Jalen Williams, Chet, SGA, so now they're financially, they know they're going to be there for years. And we said no Jalen Williams last night. They had no Caruso. They have no Isaiah Joe. They had no Cason Wallace last night. And then here all of a sudden, Aaron Wiggins has 23. Kid AJ Mitchell drops 26 in 38 minutes. So like Lou said, it's just a plug and play system. Everyone knows their role. They all play hard. They all defend. They all know exactly. Let's get the best possible shot. It starts with SGA, but it just goes down, and these guys just all get it. And for this to be so young and to play with that level of maturity is insane, but it starts with SGA.
You remember last year, the first week of the season, we didn't know who the clear favorites were. We kept saying, let it play out, let it play out, let it play out. They are still the team to beat. There is some separation with OKC, and you can see it in these double overtime wins. They're playing some really good teams, and they're getting everybody best shots, and they're withstanding. Like, Houston had opportunities to beat them. Indiana have opportunities to beat them, but your best player, he stands in those gaps, and he makes sure you come away with those wins. And especially with these where we're calling it plug and play, but some of these guys that are getting more experience, more meaningful minutes, down the line of the season, these games are going to be something that they can go back and reference, and knowing we can get through these tough times, and I can trust some of these young guys to come off the bench and help me win some more games.
Yeah, battle tested. Like, how much more battle tested can you be in the first 2 games of the year? One at home, then you go on the road and a repeat of the finals, and you come out on top of both of them with the youngest team in the NBA. Obviously led by SGA and what he did last night with 55 points, but it's a little bit of everything. Again, Aaron Wiggins, you plug him in the starting lineup, he goes for 23 and 9. They don't miss a beat.
Situation.
It's just you got to continue to give credit to Sam Presti and Mark Daigneault for just the development, finding these guys that are undrafted guys that no one else wanted, and they turn them into valuable NBA players.
And the real scary part is when you look at this starting lineup of OKC, it's only one player in their prime in the starting lineup, and that's Shai. So it just goes to show how much more scarier this team can become. Can you imagine Chet and Jalen Williams in their prime? Like, it's crazy.
Well,
it's crazy.
We're gonna see all of it because we're gonna be around for a while here. 68 wins. That's what they had last season. Are we looking at possibly an over 70? And by the way, just for reference,
over 70.
After Golden State won their first title, that second season they had the 73 wins. So there's a little bit of a pattern.
That's a lot of
there.
wins.
That's a lot.
68.
Okay. It is a lot of wins.
And we've been talking, alluding to the fact of how good the Western Conference is. Like, they're going to have to play the Nuggets. They're going to have to play the Rockets. Like, these teams are Minnesota. Like, the West is too good, I think, for them to win.
I think you just need more West.
Maybe not this year.
Keep going.
But the West, I think, is just too good for them to win more than that. But listen, they're going to win a lot of games. I think, no doubt in my mind, they're going to be the #1 seed because most teams, they're like an injury away from, taking a real step back. This team's not. Like, they can just see that they have
three guys sitting out right now.
Well, there's one bad injury that could be a problem, but everything else.
But that's for everybody.
That's
take
the best player off everyone's team there.
That's for everybody.
But they have a lot more luxury of depth and youth than anybody else across the league.
But with that being said, healthy or not, if they can still find ways to win these games like they've just done, they're going to put pressure on their record as the Golden State Warriors did as well.
Absolutely.
The AJ Mitchell of it all, he averaged in his rookie season last year 6.5. Right now in 2 games, he's got 16 and 26, Lou. There's a name that we've really never said, and now we're looking at 16 and 26. Talk to me about the depth of this team again.
Yeah, Bees, like I said, when you have guys that go out with injury, other guys can step in for this team and have major impacts. This guy played 38 minutes last night. I don't know if he's afforded those minutes if Caruso is in the lineup, if Jalen Williams is in the lineup, but they aren't. So you go to your bench. You go to the guys that you know that can score the basketball, that can fill those holes for you. And he's been able to do it the first 2 games of the season. That gives you confidence going down this road that, hey, even when these guys come back, when my number is called, I can still have a major impact on winning in these basketball games. And A.J. Mitchell has been nothing short of that. He's taken advantage of every opportunity in his sophomore season, in this short season. And the only thing that he can do from here is just to continue to grow on it.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know much about him till last year. He had some spot minutes, and he had some bright moments. Even game 1 this year, he had 16 points. And watching those highlights, watching the game, you can tell it's not a fluke. Like, this kid can hoop. Like, he's got game. He has a little bit of everything. He can shoot the ball. He can get to the rack. He's athletic. He finishes with both hands, although he's left-handed. So this is, again, just another product of Oklahoma City, another product of Sam Presti, where this kid, he's just becoming a trade asset, or he's becoming a valuable player for this team. Like, it's just all positive for whatever happens, for whatever you get out of him. Same with Wiggins, same with Isaiah Joe. Like, Isaiah Joe's their best shooter. He hasn't even played yet. Like it's outrageous, the depth of this team. But this kid's for real. This isn't a fluke. This isn't just two random good games. And it shows you him playing 38 minutes. That means coach trusts him. Like, you're not just going to throw a kid out there 38 minutes if you don't believe in him. And he hasn't been playing very well in camp and practice.
And to piggyback off of that, you spoke on the trust between the coach and the player. That's a great example of, staying ready so you don't have to get ready. I mean, the kid hasn't played a, huge amount throughout last year or this year. That may obviously change, but he was ready. He was ready to come in, play, plug in, do whatever he had to do for the team to help them win. And that's a great example. So that's a great example for the kids that's watching, a great example for the kids that's trying to figure out how they can become a valuable asset to their team. So credit to this kid for doing that. But the biggest thing is, he earned his coach's trust.
Yeah, think about that. Undrafted from UC Santa Barbara, and now he's playing 38 minutes on the defending champs. Like,
it's not a bad spot to be in. I was really want to get to Benedict Mathurin for a second. Career night here. Most improved player. It goes Amen Thompson, Benedict Mathurin. That's sort of where we are right now. Can we make the argument for him to grab that award? If it continues.
I like him. I think he showed up last year in the playoffs. He was a big spark for them. He had some big games for him in the playoffs. But this kid is just tough. He's fearless. He goes out there. You can tell he plays with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
He has the ultimate confidence. Everything is shown on full display when it comes to this kid. But I think his toughness stands out the most. But the way he approaches the game and no matter who's in front of him, he's in attack mode. Like I said, he's fearless. I think he's in the right place. So he definitely has a chance to make something happen. It's
funny you say Amen Thompson. I think there's three guys on I think it's Jabari Smith. I think Amen Thompson, even Reed Shepard if he figures it out. Because the lack of production. I'm saying the lack of production last year to the jump and the opportunity he's going to get this year. I never know how they're going to vote on.
I know, it's a weird award.
Cunningham winning it as a
but you know the difference in those guys?
Huh?
You got Nembhard now has a shoulder issue. We don't know how long he's going to be out.
He's going to keep cooking.
Obviously, Halliburton is out for the season. He doesn't have any subs.
Yeah.
He's going to have to play. So he's going to get every chance in the world to lead this team.
It's true.
Every stop of the way. So I think that's the difference in the Reed Shepards and the Amen Thompson and all of those other guys are in scenarios. At some point, they're going to have to get the ball to the big dogs.
Yeah,
he has turned into the big dog in Indiana. That's going to give him the edge to win MIP over some of those other guys, in my opinion.
It's a strange. I don't know how they vote. Like, he was pretty good last year. So I think it's like AJ Mitchell averaging 2 last year to 12 this year. That's most improved to me. So I don't know how the voting goes. Again, when Cade won it.
No, when Cade won, I think we're like, Or we made the argument for.
Exactly. And so I don't exactly know, but yeah, he's definitely going to be a candidate just with more opportunity.
I still feel like certain guys shouldn't even qualify to win.
Didn't Zubac end up with, I don't even think Cade.
Didn't we decide last year that it should be also contingent upon where you were drafted? Because the assumption if you're drafted high is that you already were great. So what are we doing?
Like how can the number one overall pick be most improved when he was not an overall pick?
Right.
Doesn't make any sense. There's nowhere else to go. I was really hoping that we would get to the officiating because the fouls called in this are
not just this game. Not just this game.
No, but this one's fresh because 7-0 fouls called in this game. 37 on the Pacers, 33 on the Thunder. Chandler, I'll start with you on that one. That seems high and not fun to watch.
It's not fun to watch. And again, I think the refs are doing the best job they can. And the guys have gotten so good at creating contact and getting the whistle to where it's an impossible job, right? And you have to call it if there's contact. So there is a lot of fouls that, get called. But there's also a lot of fouls that don't get called. So even 70 last night, it's a pain to watch. Even the Mavs game the night before, it was brutal. It can't be good for ratings. It can't be good to sit here and watch a guy shoot free throws.
We're not doing that.
I'm just saying, it's not a great product to see 70 fouls and 70 whistles. But also, there's a lot of contact, and guys are taught to play physical, and offensive guys are taught to create contact and get to the foul line. So it's kind of a combination of everything, but I don't like it, and it's too much.
As a guy that used to draw a lot of fouls.
Going left?
Whoop-dee-doo.
I like it.
Well, get your hands out the cookie jar. Don't impede my progress, and stay down, and don't jump, and stay on your feet. If you don't want this bad product of all of these fouls, Be more
I
disciplined
just
on
don't like
defense.
the like.
70
I don't like
though,
the bump in the
70.
head
Listen,
flying back.
I used to be good for 10 to 15 of them.
Golly.
You're not going to find that
Again,
argument
it's a
from
skill
me.
now.
I
It's
was
a skill.
also a guy that drew a lot of
You're not going
fouls.
to find that argument from me.
But at the end of the day, I need these refs to get out the way.
Yeah.
A little bit.
No, seriously.
like-
and this is the part
It
that...
can't be both, Boogie.
Yes, it can.
No, it can't.
I need you to
You
do your
cannot
job
have-
and get out the way.
They
That's
can't.
it.
If
Why?
they stop doing their job on your behalf and
That's
you
not
don't
what
get
I'm
them
saying.
free throws,
That's not what I'm saying.
Well, then
telling
what
you to
are
do
you
your
saying?
job.
Yeah, I was about to say, talk to me. Go ahead.
And what I mean by get out the way, like, we sit here and act like these aren't human beings and they don't have egos as well. Like, they have a fan base as well.
That's a fact.
Every time those guys get a chance to walk up to that camera and they zoom in on them,
You're talking about one guy specifically. aren't you?
That's,
I know what
that's,
you're doing
that's
right
the
now.
highlight of their night.
Double Z's.
That gets their, their fan base
Boogie,
ring.
you going to pick a fight with a ref.
No, I'm just calling a spade
now.
a spade. I'm calling a spade a spade. Do your job and get out the way. The game is not about you. Simple.
I know, but
as that.
Zach Zarba's pretty, did his hair. Like,
Man,
he's, like
come
he
on.
loves
It's
Zach
so
Zarba.
over the
Well,
top.
listen,
Like, he
can
like-
we be clear
It's
about
so
something?
over the
Zach
top,
Zarba's
bro.
awesome.
Hey,
You don't like
listen.
Zach Zarba?
No, I'm not
if
speaking
you
on
remove-
one. I'm speaking on them as
But
a
check
whole.
this out, though. For this particular game, if you remove SGA, that's pretty normal. He shot 26 of these by
That's
himself.
fair. That's fair.
This isn't about the. I'm speaking on them in general.
I was trying to
do your job and
up
get
out
out
of there.
the way.
I was
It's
trying
not
to get
about
out of
you.
there, Boogie. I was trying to move on.
The problem is the Jalen Brunsons of the world, they're so good at creating the fouls.
Okay,
cool
but
with
some of
that.
those are frustrating. As
I'm
a
cool
fan,
with that.
some of those are
It
frustrating.
wasn't 70 fouls when in the 90s. Like
70 whistles is
So does that make
outrageous.
sense now? Like
70 whistles
when the
is a
game
lot.
was really physical, you weren't getting 70 foul calls in the game. Like
You had a double overtime game, though. I think the product was still.
Are we officially the old heads or like the league's soft? Stop.
nah, I'm not saying that at all. I just need you to do your job and get out the way.
Okay, but in fairness to how you're saying that, doing the job is the blowing of the whistle. Like, I don't
Absolutely.
understand how you're supposed to do
Absolutely.
both.
That's what I said.
That's like-
We can't have it. We
I
can't
don't know, I
have
just
it
like a
both
little bit
ways.
of a balance. I'm a Boogie.
Hey,
Like, a
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't want a steady
91
diet of
free
these
throws.
No,
type.
I'm not
I don't
saying
want a
not
steady
call
diet of these
foul.
type of games.
Just stop
but-
making it. We know they will stop the game to get that camera time. Lou, come on, bro. You've seen this
you think
before.
Billy Kennedy
they will stop
loves
the game to get their camera
Billy
time.
Kennedy
man.
loves the old replays.
Yes.
That's fun, though.
you.
Okay, I
I'm with
like
you.
it.
I gotta go. I don't know. Let's check the camera. Like,
With
come
you.
on, man. Stop.
I like it.
You think they love the reviews just so they get their 10 seconds?
Some take
They
longer
have
than
egos
others.
too. Absolutely. They want their camera
We should
time.
start keeping track.
That's why I'm not a fan of the 2-minute report.
Oh, here
They're
we go.
saying that you should interview the referee. No, don't interview
God,
him.
Lou hates it so much.
I hate it because you're going
You think they ain't got their shorties
Do you think
watching?
that's going to make them more? Do you think that's going to make
Do
them
they
more?
get fan mail? Like, do they get?
I'm
like,
sure.
Do they have like shoe deals?
Are they even
Do
on social media?
Do they
I
have
haven't seen
Amos?
a ref.
I'm sure they got some burners.
They must have
I'm
burgers.
sure they got some burner
Got the
accounts.
hocus.
All right, so Thunder 2-0, Warriors also 2-0, and they had themselves a little game last night. Another overtime game in this one, just one though, a week. Beating Denver, Steph with 42 points, 14 of 25, 6 of 12 from 3. Jimmy Butler had 21. Aaron Gordon, woohoo, career high 50 points, 10 of 11 for 3. Let's get to this one. So Charles Barkley, and look, he's not the only one, but he did say that the Warriors are not one of the 4 best teams in the West, which, again, we've talked about all that they're the oldest or the
Who
smallest,
is that
this,
one?
that, and the other. But he is. Are we underestimating them? Maybe. I know it's 2 games.
Whoa.
But are we underestimating them? What?
I was about to do the thing where I start naming Western Conference teams again.
Go
but
ahead. Let's.
The Warriors are good, but are they better than the Thunder?
No.
No.
but
Are
that's
they better
okay.
than the Nuggets?
Today they are.
Yes.
Are they
Yesterday,
better
yeah.
than the
Today they
Rockets?
are.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
Sure,
were
but
last
the
night.
Jazz are this undefeated too right now. Like, what is
Well,
that?
Jazz is in the 4th
Jazz
spot.
beat the Clippers, so they're better
I'm
than
just
the Clippers.
saying there are a lot of good teams. Like, yeah, the Clippers are supposed to be good.
how
They
it
got
works.
straight up dog walked by the Jazz. So like, I don't listen. They're going to be competitive. They're the older team. They're experienced. They have Steph Curry. They have Jimmy Butler. They have Draymond Green. They have a lot of talent to win games. And you know they're going to play hard. You know they're going to defend. Buddy Hield's going to come off these screens, and they have what it takes. It's just the West is very competitive. So I kind of agree with Chuck. If they get home court advantage, this would be an unbelievable season for them.
I'm not doing the math, but it's about 12, 13 rings over there.
Yeah.
They're old, but they know how to hoop.
Yeah.
I spoke about it. This is a high IQ team. So even though their identity has changed, like you don't see these guys running off a bunch of screens and actions like they did in the Splash Brothers run. They have reinvented themselves and created a new identity and a style of play that works for them. So I was one of the people who say, I don't know. They seem a little bit old, but they've plugged Al Horford in. Al Horford looks like he's been there the whole time. Jimmy Butler has picked up where he's left off. Steph Curry is still putting everybody to sleep. Draymond Green is still running the show for him. He's still the safety and the guy that's going to anchor them on the defensive end. This is a basketball team and an organization that just knows how to get it done. And so because of that, they may be overlooked. If this team can stay healthy and age doesn't become a factor, I think they can be a top 4 team in the West.
I think that's exactly what they want. I think they want people to overlook them.
I think so, too. That's a good call, Boogie.
As far as them being an age team, I mean, that's the glaring thing with this team, but at the same time, experience is on their side.
That's a nice way to put it. I like that.
But it is, and like you said, they have a championship, DNA. They know how to win. They know how to play this game. The only thing that I'm worried about or concerned with this team is health. This is a long season. We're 2 games in. Guys being up in age, it's hard to play 82-game season. So the only thing I can see stopping this team is health. But if they're healthy through an entire season, they're absolutely a threat. You have a Hall of Fame talent in Steph Curry. And depending on who you talk to, we're talking top 5, top 10 player all time. Mm-hmm. So absolutely they have a chance. And, I think their biggest thing is just staying healthy.
And they do have a combination, too, of some youth, right? The Kuminga, he's got a chip on his shoulder. We're talking about most improved players. He's going to be in that conversation. Pods is going to be in that conversation. Moody's got to get healthy, but he's one of those young assets that they have. So they do have some balance there with experienced guys and youth. So even if Jimmy Butler or Steph wants to sit out a night, they have guys that they could also plug and play with this depth.
I don't know about that part.
Like, think about it. They got Moody. They got
I don't know about
Post. They got Peyton. They got Buddy. They got Horford. Like, Chase Jackson-Davis hasn't played yet. Like, they have some depth.
I think that's where Kuminga comes into play.
Exactly. Let Kuminga rock, like, as the number, like, when Butler or Steph goes out.
I think their biggest issue is just surviving the season and getting in a comfortable place in the playoffs. Once they made the playoffs, they are a real, I don't think any team wants to face them.
Yeah, they're a classic
in the
team where if they're the 7 seed, the 2 seed's like, shit, we got to play the Warriors.
Exactly. So all they have to do is make the playoffs, and they're a real threat. So
I feel like it's how we looked at the Heat a few years ago when it was like, just let them get in the playoffs and then see what happens. And I also think, ticking a guy off like Steph and Jimmy Butler and Draymond and telling them over and over again how old they are is probably not going to work out well for the rest of the league, which I love. I love the idea that that's going to be motivational. 22 points in the 4th and OT, 16 straight for the Warriors at the end of the 4th and started that thing. Look, kids still line up. They get there real early just to see Steph take shoot around Lou. Where are you putting him on the most fun guys to watch in this league? We know Chandler's obsessed with Wemby now, but that list is still there. Yeah,
he's still there. Still Steph Curry, still must-see TV, and he's influential. And excuse me. And I'm almost at a loss for words because you praise somebody for so long and they do something at a high clip for so long, it's like you run out of compliments. Like, I've run out of compliments to give Steph Curry. Like, I've seen this movie 100 times. I've even been on the wrong side of these movies almost 100 times. And so you see these things for so long. But again, Steph Curry is going to be one of those guys that's going to be immortalized as one of the best players of all time, one of the most influential players of all time. He changed the way that we played the game. He changed the way the game is refereed. He changed the game, the way that the kids look at it and how they view themselves. This is not a 6'7", 6'8" guy that is larger than life. His game is larger than life, and because of that, a lot of kids see themselves inside of him, and that makes him must-see TV. If you got a 37-year-old guy running out 16 in a row and going to get you a big win, and he's not going to stop there. He's going to go down as the best point guard ever in the game, and he's going to put these guys in a position to still win games at a high clip still to this day. So.
Yeah, like the other night, Wemby gave me those tingles you were talking about.
Oh, Jesus.
It's so weird.
It's because of
tingles, brother?
It's getting worse.
Do this, brother.
There were some tingles.
Well, they play again tonight,
No, you
Chandler.
should never.
All right.
A man should never give you tingles.
Yes, he
gave me
should.
tingles.
Wendy, you might want to get a restraining order with this
My
guy.
point is, that was nuts for me just seeing what he does athletically.
Sure.
Steph gives me those tingles. Steph gives me the tingles. Just like that. I got goosebumps watching that highlight of him shooting that shot.
You got too much going on with these guys.
Get your feelings together, man.
Get your feelings together.
I'm just saying, watching LeBron being physical and his stomach like that, I never really had that kind of that whoa, the feelings.
The spark, it wasn't
the
there.
feelings I'm developing. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, it's fun to watch, and the fact, like Lou said, he's 37 years old still doing this. It is
most fun.
Bananas, and I'm here for it.
Oh, God, Chandler, you're really in touch with
we go to
yourself.
break?
I love it. Yeah, let's go to break.
Yeah.
Ty Lue said that MJ would have had 45 average in today's NBA. We'll see. Okay, we'll see what the guys think about that next.
You know what? I used to not believe that, but now after all these crazy stat lines,
That's fair.
Run it back, yeah. Run it up, run it back.
You know what? First official say what of the season, because we have some good quotes from the entire Giant off season that we just had. So let's start with Paul George's podcast. And on that, Baron Davis said that LaMelo Ball needs to have a goal going into this season that, quote, I'm the top point guard, and I'm going to play 82 games and get my team to the playoffs. Okay. Paul George also said his career would be over if he went to Charlotte, saying there's no winning culture. Jeez. Is the reason that the Hornets back in the playoffs and LaMelo become a top point guard, is this going to be that season, Chandler?
I think Lou wants to take it.
No, one of y'all better answer it.
But
Okay, that's a no.
I think
It's, I don't. You want me to take it?
yeah.
I don't think it's a LaMelo Ball problem. I think it's a Charlotte Hornets problem.
Okay, fair.
Put some talent around this young man and give him a real opportunity. I think he's going to do everything in his power to try to will them to the playoffs. But I agree with Baron Davis. Set goals for yourself and try to will these guys to some of those goals. You are the head of the snake. You're the leader of the team. And this team is going to go as you go. And the more and more that they put talent around them, some of these young guys, I like Brandon Miller a lot. I like some of the other young guys that they also have on there. But you got to start building a winning culture. You got to start building something real where these guys can buy into and your fan base can buy into it and start creating some momentum from there. But it's gonna start and finish with LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, and a guy like him won't ever fully get the flowers he deserves till he wins, and they're nowhere near winning, and that's the problem. So, like, he's going to average a lot of points. He is an electric player. He's very fun to watch. Like, he's super talented, 6'7", 6'6" point guard that can kind of dime, can shoot the ball from deep. He is must-watch TV, and no one's watching. It's the Charlotte Hornets problem. And again, I love Brandon Miller. I like some of the pieces that they're adding there, but he's not a top 5 point guard, and they're going to be a bottom 5 team. So it's hard to get the accolades and the respect you want when you're not winning games consistently.
Feels like a catch-22.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree when it comes to holding yourself accountable, you know, setting the next goal for yourself, improving with each season. I agree with everything Baron said, but you can't let the organization off the hook. It's about surrounding this young fella with real talent. He's proven that he can, you know, run a team. He's proven that he's a star. He can entertain. He can bring so many things to the table. So now it's time to surround him with real talent and actually set a goal for not only your organization, but for this young kid as well. Like, let's make a real push. Yep. And that's something that always gets overlooked in these situations.
Daunting.
You can't overlook the organization.
Klay Thompson, Boogie, you're first on this one, said that Anthony Davis is the best power forward of his generation. You played with him. Do you agree?
Absolutely, he's one of them. Absolutely. I mean,
Who's another?
I think Giannis would take the cake as far as, you know, the number one in this generation. But I would say he's number 2, and you know, that's no knock. He's in great company, but he's definitely a generational talent. He's been a winner his entire life. I've known AD for
That's
a long.
That's a real rough one.
Yeah, they could have did him better.
That's not right.
Yeah, they
That's
could have
not
did
right.
him better. But I've known AD for a long time. I've watched him turn into the star that he's turned into. So, you know, I absolutely agree. He's definitely one of them.
Yeah, I agree. I think Giannis has got to be number 1, right? Like,
Yeah.
but he's right there. Wemby's not Klay's generation, so he can't be there. And then you look at other guys, the Kevin Loves, the Aldridge, the Blakes. Like, Anthony Davis got to be ahead of them. So I'm comfortable with putting him at 2.
You got to throw Draymond in there.
Draymond Green.
Yeah, maybe 3.
I'm agreeing.
So, yeah.
Okay, it's not a bad list. All right, so that one's not crazy. Here we go. Lou, you're first on this one.
Yep.
Ty Lue said MJ would average 45 in today's league. Are you surprised to hear that from Ty Lue?
No, I'm not surprised. I mean, that's high praise. That's high praise for the GOAT. I mean, I think a lot of people would say things like that. Obviously, this is exaggerated. If that was the case, we would have seen Kobe have some years where he would average 45. We would have seen some years where LeBron's would have averaged 45. Steph Curry would have averaged some 45s. If I can even go back to just pure scores, I'll leave it right there. You know, I'll leave it right there before they clip me up and be like, all right, Lou, chill, enough is enough. But a lot has changed in the game. Only thing that I would challenge T. Lue on is MJ didn't consistently shoot the 3 in how today's game is. Obviously, I think he would have evolved. He would have adjusted to how the game is being played. But we don't have a lot to see that. You know, even in the game where he went 6 from 6 with 3, he was like,
Yeah.
Well, 6 for 6 is what these guys do in a half these days. So I think MJ would have evolved his game. He would have fit right in. 45 is a high number, but MJ can play in any era.
45 is
and average high numbers in any era.
45 is definitely a high number. I get what T. Lewis trying to do. Obviously, you want to give MJ all the flowers. He's the greatest. So with that being said, based off how the game is played today, I think analytics and coaching hate, it wouldn't even give him the opportunity to average 45. If we all know MJ's game and we base it into today's time, analytics will hate on him. And a prime example I can give you is DeMar DeRozan. Like, as good as this guy is, as good as he's been throughout his entire career, they still find a way to hate on his game in this modern day of basketball. So I just don't see it really translating.
Yeah, and you think we're exhausted now with the Brunsons and the SGAs getting to the free throw line? This dude would average 25 free throws a game.
Sure.
So that is where he could make up
crazy.
the points, and that's where I think 45. It's not the craziest thing with SGA averaging 34
Fair.
or whatever. Like, but it's still
45?
11 more
45?
points.
That's a ton. You sound
Average
you sound
45?
Like
No, all I'm saying is he would shoot a lot of free throws compared to the way the game's officiated then versus now. This guy would live at the free throw line.
Can he score 45 in a game? Yes.
Basketball is a
average
game.
45?
Well, I think
No way.
he'd only have to score 20 because he'd have 20 free throws.
Come on.
Listen, MJ is the same. MJ
That
is
is
the
math.
same great that had the scale of saying, I can go out and score 10 points a quarter. That was his scale. And he didn't do that every night. We're not saying that MJ can't go get 45.
Yeah.
But average of 45.
Average?
It's nuts.
It's a high
but
number
it's-
in his. First of all,
If anybody can do
they
it,
don't
he
get
can probably
mad
do
at
it.
us for something T. Lou said because it's Michael Jordan. But averaging 45 for
We love
anybody,
Michael Jordan. Just
We
so
do
you
love
know.
him.
Yeah, of
We
course.
love
But
Michael
Pro
Jordan.
Michael Jordan show.
Yeah.
Pro Michael Jordan.
Yes,
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
what we are here.
Chandler is trying to find an
Doesn't
extra
sound like
11
doesn't
points.
sound like you guys do.
He's going to go to the
Doesn't sound
line
like
30
you guys
times.
Clearly, just a big Michael
Chandler,
Jordan.
I see what you're trying to say. I see. It's
Come on,
math.
dog.
45 is
Respect the greats, Boogie.
Yeah, it's
I absolutely do. I absolutely do.
So Andre
Especially now.
Iguodala, we got another one about a list. So Andre Iguodala said that if Rasheed Wallace played in the league today, he'd be a top 5 player, better than Giannis. Boogie, you agree?
I like this one.
Yeah, I like this one too. I'm a big Sheed fan, first
Me
of
too.
all.
Me too.
You guys are out of your goddamn mind.
No,
We
let me
haven't said
finish. Let me
nothing.
finish.
We just
Let
said
me
we like
finish.
Rashid. I like this
I don't like
one.
being in the middle of it. We gotta
say-
we gotta change
As long as you just want to argue.
I think
You hadn't
Sheed would
said
be
he's
He's
one
better
of
than an
those guys.
MVP. What are we?
We talking about Rasheed Wallace.
I'm talking about Giannis. He
said
lost
better
me.
than-
Sorry,
But
go
we're
ahead.
be better
talking
than
about
Giannis.
a guy that was doing all of this
Yes.
before it was a
Rashid
thing.
played throw it in the post era. If he played
got
in a,
post
if he played
game
in a
and
running
a
gun
clip.
era,
He's
we're
not Giannis.
having a conversation.
I didn't say he was young.
No,
he
he
has
did.
his own game.
No, Iguodala did.
I think he'll be top 5 for sure.
Rasheed
But
Wallace
better
is
than
a
Giannis?
top 5 player in
You think
today's
Rasheed? So
NBA.
Rasheed Wallace would be better than Jokic, SGA, Luka, Giannis, and Wemby in today's game? No chance.
Do you remember Rasheed Wallace?
I do. I love Rasheed Wallace. He wouldn't be top 5 in the NBA.
He had defense, he could shoot the ball, and he had post game.
Luka doesn't have defense, Chandler.
Okay, neither does
just
Jokic.
point
A
it
lot
out.
of guys don't. I'm just saying he would not be top 5. He's great. I understand the logic. He's a pick and pop. He could play stretch 5.
I'm
he could
rocking
shoot
with
the
you,
ball.
Sheed.
I am too, and I want no
I'm
smoke.
rocking with you, Sheed.
I am too. And by no means do I want any problems with Rasheed Wallace. He just wouldn't be top 5 in today's league. There's just no way.
Okay, so that's it. Chandler just spoke.
He's better than Wemby. You just bought his jersey, and now Rasheed Wallace is better than Wemby.
I told you he's number 1. That has nothing to do with this. He's in his own category. Like,
Oh, I can't wait to come back on Monday and talk
Top
about
5
Wemby.
is nuts.
We're gonna take a quick break. Ooh, our first Sam Amick.
We didn't get a
appearance of
chance
the
to let
season.
Boogie get his.
No, we're
don't
doing it.
even matter.
We're doing
I'm
it in the
rocking
D
with
block.
you,
No, we're doing it in the D block.
All right.
Don't even worry about it.
We're gonna
It's all
circle back.
good.
We're gonna
Sam's up
circle
next.
back.
Yeah, we're gonna circle back. Put
Oh,
a pin in
great.
it. We'll be back.
We're gonna bookmark that.
Run it up, run it back.
Welcome back. Run it back. Chandler's having some issues right now. He's back. Had him all last season. It was fantastic. Senior NBA writer for The Athletic, Sam Amick is back on the show. There he is.
There he
Boom,
is.
different
Welcome
room.
back, Sam.
Oh, no, this is a hotel. We're in a hotel, aren't we?
Oh
Sammy?
yeah, we were looking forward
Yeah.
to the Toucan.
Yeah, we
joint.
wanted a toucan, but that's all right. Well, first of all, how was your off season? Did you get any good times?
That was good, guys. Great to be back with you. It was good until like September when all the non-basketball stuff popped up and we got a little too busy too early. But, you know,
Yep.
we got to the Hawaiian Islands. We got away and happy
nice.
to be back.
Well played, sir. Well played. All right, well, we are going to just do basketball because I know yesterday was another one of those types of days. But
Okay.
LeBron, out to start the season with sciatica. I know that threw a lot of people off kilter, but here we are. Then they lose opening night to the Warriors. All eyes will always be on that team. We know that he is monitoring the situation. Is there a world in where we see him ask for a trade this year?
I think there's a world. I just don't see it because honestly, I think LeBron and even somebody of Giannis' stature, when you talk about being younger and at this point better, today's NBA, you move around. And I think honestly, that's kind of what these guys learned in the summer is that if you're Giannis and you're frustrated with your situation, and I know we're going to talk about him, if you're LeBron and you're not quite sure that you might want to finish things up in Lakerland, you look up and it's the second apron environment. It's the fact that, free agency even is not what it used to be. You can't go get that max deal somewhere else. And trade-wise, it's funny. It was on my mind last night watching that Warriors game because we know about LeBron having shown some interest to maybe join those guys, which, if you could just snap your fingers and make it happen, it would be interesting. It's just not that simple. So never say never, but I was in LA for the opener, and it was kind of sad to see him on that sideline knowing that A, he's not healthy enough to go, and that B, it's just kind of crunchy right now when it comes to this final chapter for him.
Yeah.
Sam, you know all things Warriors, so I got to ask you about the whole Jonathan Kuminga thing. Obviously, right before the season, he signs that 2-year deal, and there's still a bunch of chatter. And now he's still a trade piece. He started both games. He's played pretty good the first 2 games of the season. Is it more likely that he's still a trade asset and he's going to be moved to the deadline, or is he now officially a piece of that kind of core and future going forward?
Chandler, I think it's both. You know what I mean? It's funny. I talked to some Warriors people after they beat the Lakers about that question. And my thing was, all right, now how long is this list of players that they would legitimately think about moving JK for? And I was a little shocked to be told that it's kind of like 1.5. I mean, I'm sure it might be longer than that, but we know that if something happened with Giannis, and we have to find out if he even would ever want to go there, that would be a guy that John would be in a deal like that. From there, Trey Murphy III's name comes up, but because he's looked good and because Steve Kerr's been praising him for changing his game a little bit, and you start hearing the maturity word quite a bit, I think it's interesting though. It's like it's a chicken or the egg. Even though his contract is not what he wanted it to be, he is finally getting paid to some degree. He's had these moments where Steve Kerr feels like he's done some of the stuff that he hasn't in the past that frustrated them. And his teammates have been supporting him and rocking with him. And like I got asked the other day, is there any, friction between, the guys in the locker room? And I don't think there's any. They've managed to make it work, and it's only a couple games, but it's looked pretty good.
Starting off 2-0 also helps, though.
Yeah, that's also,
yes,
that
indeed.
feels great. The Giannis trade saga. Look, the Knicks part of all of this is going to be fascinating for a while. You started an article that's with to be continued. He's too good a dude to not request it publicly, but I don't know what's going on behind closed doors there. Is this something that strictly will be dealt with after the Bucks season, first of all?
I don't know. I mean, if they struggle, then I think you got to watch it. You know what I mean? Like I give the Bucks some credit in terms of the way they framed this thing after a kind of a loud summer with Giannis was that with, Tyrese Halliburton's injury, with the Pacers and some of the other stuff that went on, you can squint a little bit and see a world where the Bucks can be one of the better teams in the East. They sold Giannis on Miles Turner at a time when, when that deal first went down, it was hard to tell if A, he had been told about it and, during the discussions, and B, if he was a big fan of it. Since then, Giannis has said nothing but great things about Miles. So they have convinced him to kind of play ball with this group for now. As you guys know, though, he's been pretty candid about the way he sees it. And I kind of love that. Like, there's so much, when it comes to stuff that gets reported and then players speaking on it, where a lot of times they won't just say the truth about what's going on. He's been pretty transparent. Like, he's looking to contend. He loves Milwaukee. He loves the Bucks. It's nothing personal. But if it doesn't go well and if they really don't look good, then I think it could get louder.
I mean, look, the season's still going on, and he's spotted crossing the street with his family in Manhattan. Like, that's a weird destination spot during season playoffs. But here's my question, though, because as fun as that seems to be, him playing in New York, What can they possibly offer to get a guy like Giannis?
I mean, Jalen Brunson's off the table. That in and of itself is probably a deal breaker for now. Where it's, I mean, if you're the Bucks and you're John Horst, their longtime GM, John has also been transparent, at least behind the scenes throughout this whole thing, and saying like he's not gonna take anything less than like everything from you if he's ever gonna trade Giannis. That he's coming for blood, so to speak, as far as a deal like that, because that market and that franchise, that's the greatest player they've had since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and they want to survive if they have to move off of him. So with Jalen off the table, then the discussion kind of shifted to the other guys on the roster, but there's nothing there. There just isn't. And the Knicks, at least for now, it's a little bit like with the Bucks, where you got to see how they play. New York, it sounds counterintuitive, but they legitimately looked at the Giannis thing and said, we're pretty invested in what we have right now. We just added Mike Brown as our coach. We think that we're legitimate title contenders, and that belief in what they have, at least for now, again, kind of pushed that situation back a bit.
Hold on. Wait. So if they could have figured out a way, something, they were like, nah, we're good?
Yeah, I mean, yes. They it's kind of like put in the back pocket. And honestly, I think Giannis knew that. It's you've lodged your interest in us, but the question is, were they ready to go ahead, hit that button, and blow up all the work they'd done to build this roster, and the season they had last year? And the coaching change obviously was pretty controversial, but they thought they leveled up. Agree or disagree, that's how they saw it. And no, they didn't want to hit that button and start over. Now, I don't know where the deal could have been done on the Buck side with John, but yeah, the Knicks, they feel really good about what they have, and they're kind of waiting on the other situation.
That's a little shocking to me. By the way, if it's not New York, because I mean, 2 years ago, did I not say Giannis is going to be a Knick when it's all said and done?
You sure did.
So I'm already committed to that mentally. But if it wasn't there, is there another team that we could kind of look to possibly?
I don't know, but we're talking Warriors. I did spend part of yesterday trying to get some clarity, like on that scenario. If you go back to All-Star Weekend, and I've written this a little bit, Steph Curry hosts a party at the Splash Restaurant and Bar next to Chase Center. And honestly, just in terms of this job cracking me up sometimes, it's late night. There's, people around the NBA all over this party, and I'm actually sitting there talking to Joe Lacob at this thing, and I look up at the stairwell, and none other than Giannis, the only non-Warrior in the room, is going up the stairs with his wife Mariah and going to hang with, it was Steph and Draymond up there. And it just, the optics of it made you go, oh boy, here's like early recruiting days. It made you kind of think of the KD, kind of partnership that they had back in the day. I kind of circled back on some of that stuff yesterday, and it was actually kind of told, like, yeah, I mean, they're obviously good relationship, good, friendly. Steph has the same agency as Giannis, but not the type of smoke you might have thought as far as, that being something that was kind of percolating in the background. New York is the only one right now for me where it's really clear that Giannis does have interest there.
Yeah, and Sam, I know the season is very early, and like you said, we're trying to sort out all of these different scenarios. But if there had to be one big name to be moved by the deadline, what's your guess on that?
I don't know about move, Lou. I think, and we might hit on this a little more later, but the Atlanta situation, it's not about getting moved. It's just like I find Trae Young's situation interesting because, the cryptic social media posts about his contract and the fact that they didn't get an extension done, and you got all this positive hype about who the Hawks can be and the good offseason they had. And you got Trae, who was able last year to, I think, kind of reshape the narrative around the way his game is perceived in a really good way. But the lack of a deal is, I think, testing some of that stuff when he's coming up on free agency next summer, if they don't get something done. And he's a guy that obviously feels like he's invested a lot in that market, and you can presume, is a little put off by the fact that he didn't get a deal. So, like, as a team that could have a really good thing going, but where that one element could be tricky, I mean, could that lead to a move? No, I don't think so. But he comes to mind as far as just some of those dynamics.
Sam, after Houston's opening night game the other night, as good as THOMPSON was kind of playing point, showing us athleticism, Boogie especially, but we all agree that maybe they need to sign a point guard, right? Even though they have Reed Shepherd there, he struggled a little bit. Is that going to be a priority for them moving forward, or are they good with what they have, you think?
Chandler, I think they're good for now. I mean, the Amen Thompson, hype train is real. They're on it. Everybody's on it. Now, I didn't break down their game the other night. I don't know how much he ended up handling the ball, but you got a playmaker and a guy who can dish it in Şengün. Even Kevin at times can help with the offensive load. It seems counterintuitive. I know that I saw a clip the other day of John Wall telling Chris Haynes that they needed a point guard ASAP, so maybe John's ready to come out of retirement. But I don't see options out there that work. I mean, it's terrible what happened with Fred, not only just because of, what he brought to the team, but his leadership and the stage he's at career-wise. And, they got that deal done, and he was going to be a massive part of their group. But I think they roll with it for now, and Amen being probably the biggest reason. Because quietly last year he was like maybe the #1 guy around the league that people were saying could be special, but we hadn't really woken up to yet. And you kind of want to see if this unfortunate situation might actually kind of speed up that timeline for him.
Yeah.
All right, Sam, we're officially off and running. Appreciate it. We'll talk soon.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
All right, we'll be right back after the break. Wrap things up.
Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back.
Well, I love that we're heading into the weekend with some peace and love. Jeff Teague said that Dennis Schroeder was the most annoying teammate he's ever played with. Who'd like to share theirs, Lou?
I played with both of them, and they didn't like each other. It is what it is.
Okay, so that's fair. They're not lying.
I get it. Yeah, it was.
You don't have to like everybody.
At first, I thought it was healthy competition, but obviously Jeff got something on his heart, so I'm gonna let them talk about that. What about y'all fellas? You got an ex-annoying
Got
teammate?
anybody?
Honestly, I was man of the people.
I think you're probably the answer for other people.
It's pretty
but maybe
diplomatic.
You
I had one.
Who
You
did
got one?
Jason Thompson, man. Hey,
Really?
Why?
wet tissue, shit paper.
Damn.
And do me a favor, man.
Oh no.
Stop DMing my coworkers speaking on me, bro. Don't do that. Because it's
did
gonna
that?
get back to me.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
in
boy.
Chandler's
Go
DM.
find you a wife, go have you some kids. Stop speaking on other men.
Oh my God.
Have
Yeah.
a nice day. God
That's
bless.
Now back to Chandler's tingles. Let's go.
So Richard Jefferson was pretty annoying.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
I feel like you and Richard are the same person.
Oh, that's my boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say y'all are about the same.
Courtney Lee sucked.
How come you're not asking me about my annoying people I've worked with? I got a long list.
Oh, we know already.
Please tell.
Oh, yeah. No, I wouldn't.
Besides Chandler.
Actually, I'm with you. I've had people not like me for reasons I can't understand.
We gotta stop hating.
I get that.
Yeah, can we all just get
2025,
along
man.
and let's love each other this weekend. Let's
love
get out
it.
there and make
love
sweet love. All right.
Happy belated Beadle. Happy birthday, since I won't see you
Same.
probably by the time.
And then Lou on Monday.
I'll see y'all at the top of the week.
Scorpio show, y'all.
I'll be older and wiser next time you see me.
Have a good weekend.
We'll see y'all.